What is up? This is Spippy, and I want to start for saying, what the is this? This is an Assassin's Creed. I had so many high hopes for this game. I was like, oh, another Assassin's Creed game. Can't wait for this. But instead, what we got was a cheap 300 knockoff Spartan game. And what Ubisoft just did was, oh, just slap Assassin's Creed on it. It'll be the fun game that we always had. To be honest, I wasn't even expecting the game this year. I thought it was going to be delayed another year, just like Origins, just to make the game better. Apparently they wanted to get a game out, and I don't know if the quality actually meets the demand that previous Assassin's Creed titles had. Even Unity, I liked it, but this game is just something different. It's not even Assassin's Creed anymore. By the end of the E3 video, I was just left wondering, so yeah, where's the assassin? Because I didn't see no assassin. The entire game just looks like a copy and paste project from Ubisoft. A lot of the things I found were small little things, but they add up eventually, and it looks so rushed. It doesn't even look like they changed much up. That tells me they don't even care. And honestly, I don't care that the assassin, you can either choose to be a female or male. That to me is a step in the right direction. But that's the only positive perspectives I saw from this gameplay. Some of you may like it, some of you may not like it, but regardless, it's going to keep on happening. And if you don't remember, back in a couple of years ago, they got a lot of backlash from not having enough women in the Assassin's games. As the years went by, I saw less and less cutscenes. AC Origins was the first one that started introducing more cutscenes, but still, it's far less in comparison to the games where Ezio Auditore was in. I don't know if it takes a while to make this, I'm pretty sure it does, but it's slacking off. It's not the same game we had in the previous installments. I was hoping they could actually make it more detailed, and maybe another year would have helped. I hope they actually improve on this, but we need to see more character build. I haven't seen enough of that in the previous years. And by this installment, it looks like they're just moving away from the Assassin's Creed universe and moving into something else. They're trying to change the game up. One of the biggest red flags was the outfit. It doesn't even resemble anything to the previous years. I seriously doubt they're going to change up their outfit, since if you look at the box cover, you can tell what kind of outfit they're going to run with. I hope they don't keep on using the escort missions just to tell a story. It's not like it's the only way, and come on, it's 2018. In the previous installments, they had different ways of telling it. Oh, you're on the rooftop, high here and there, while following this character. That was different, at least than just walking by them, just like in this gameplay. And that last cutscene was completely useless. I'm just looking at all the font, and what do you know, it looks identical to the previous installment. Not only that, but the directional compass is so similar to the previous one too. The icons and the way it moves, the placement, they could have changed that up at least. Your skill level icon on the top right is exactly the same. At least change the color or something. The heads up display and the sound is exactly the same when you discover a new location. Shooting arrows while you're on the back of a horse isn't anything new. Unfortunately, the skill icon on top of the enemy is exactly the same as well. On the bottom right, you can see a new icon, but it's nothing so significant where it changes the game. I have a big problem with the swords on fire. It's only something that appear at the last bit of Origins, and here it seems to be just in the middle of the game. And I hope there aren't any more features like this, because the game is based on assassins and killing, not on superpowers and whatnot. But what bothers me the most of these last few seconds is the combat system. Nothing has changed for the biggest part. Most of it's just the same. The character glowing doesn't make the killing any more epic. And guess what? The level up icon is exactly the same. Font, coloring, even the items that you get after defeating an enemy. From how the item appears to the way it dissolves. I'm disappointed in how they did the menu as well. It's so similar to Origins as well, including the icon that lets you select items. As I mentioned previously, I hope they just don't give you superpowers in this game. But I do like that Greek statue in the far distance. It adds character to the game, and that's what the game needs more. It tells a story, and it tells the location, tells more, and it gives me the feeling that I'm in a certain location. It gives me more of the feeling that I'm in ancient Greece, that I'm exploring this new territory as an assassin, rather than me playing behind a computer screen. Personally, I didn't like these camps in the previous installment, but at the same time, they weren't a problem. It was just my personal preference. I just didn't like walking into the middle of a military base camp. I would just prefer to sneak in. It made me feel much more like an assassin. In other Assassin's games, the characters were either hit or miss. Either they were characters with deep backgrounds that showed emotions, or had charismatic personalities that actually made me want to care for them. On top of that, what are we going to get exactly? Are we going to get the typical I'm gonna rule the world, kill whoever gets in my way kind of villain? Or are we gonna get something else, something that will keep us on our toes, like Hayden Kenway? He wasn't the most powerful person, or didn't have any superpowers, but we never knew what he was gonna do. He was always one step ahead of everyone, which always kept me thinking. I don't like the fact how in certain scenarios it gives you the option to pick what to say. When I play a game, I expect them to tell me a story, not for me to tell the story myself. It helps me fulfill the fantasy that I'm an assassin. Ubisoft hasn't told us anything about the assassins and how they're happy to incorporate the Piece of Eden into the modern story and into what is known as modern time in the game. On top of that, seeing more about Rebecca, Sean, and William Miles, the dad of Desmond Miles, who died off in the previous games, would help shine light on what is happening in their modern time. I would say that in the past 3 Assassin's games, we haven't seen much, if not at all, some of them. They left a lot of questions in their modern time, like where are they, what are they doing, how are they connecting all these games into one entire big game. We can see them do missions throughout the endings of each game, but there is very little context. In Assassin's Creed 2, with Ezio Auditore and when Desmond was still alive, Rebecca, Sean, and Lucy were used a lot outside of the Animus when you didn't have to be in the game. And it provided a second story aside from the assassin story. But moving on, aside from that, I was noticing that that big brute boss was actually using a lot of the maneuvers that the previous installment had. They were just more emphasized a little bit more with a little slow-mo. And as I said, the guy glowed, and I have no idea why. I noticed that at the bottom of the screen they kept that meter. Once filled up, you'll be able to unleash an attack that's stronger than normal. And there goes a superpower. At this rate they're going to kill the kingdom off. Soon it's going to be some kind of superhero game. But this upcoming finishing maneuver to defeat the boss has been in 3 previous games. I'm extremely worried for this game. This is my favorite game out of all time. I played every single game, even the PSP games, the little 2D ones, and I just can't imagine it failing at some point. It's not what I want. I want this game to succeed, but they're making it hard to like every single game. I'm being so critical because I want to hold them accountable. We have to tell them what we want to hear, what I dislike, what I like. The time and location gives Ubisoft the ability to create one of the best stories possible. What I'm trying to hint at is the mythology aspect of this era. On top of that, the Greek scholars can also be placed into either a Templar or an assassin role, thus creating a connection with history and creating some kind of conspiracy, which only makes us think even that much more. This is Spips, and I'm out.